So let me give a little setup. We're going to watch a video by Ekemini Uwan. And Ekemini Uwan is someone who has like spoken before the UN, is I think would consider herself like a Black apologist. The way in which she brings everything to the Christian table, I'll say, is through this Black lens first. I saw this video of her that really caused me some concern. So I'm gonna play that.
You may or may not have heard about the big, beautiful bill that the Republicans are trying to pass under the cover of darkness. And who tries to do anything under the cover of darkness unless there's nothing but darkness within the bill? And let me tell you, this bill is anything but beautiful. It is straight out of the pit of hell, as this bill seeks to gut the social safety net. Medicaid is on the line. 1 in 5 enrollees in Medicaid is Black. That means your mom, your dad, your sister, your mama, and your cousin too, okay, will be impacted. Even you could be impacted by Medicaid cuts. And we don't want to lose coverage for our people. This is personal, it's urgent, and these cuts to health insurance put health insurance coverage in jeopardy for 13 million Americans. 64% of Black mothers' deliveries are covered by Medicaid. And y'all know that there is already a critical Black maternal mortality crisis in this country. We cannot afford not one cut. We need Black motherhood to thrive, and we need Black babies to thrive and come into this world alive so that they can have a good future with an expected end. More than half of Black children get their health care through Medicaid, and we can't let the Republicans in this wicked regime jeopardize their future. Our kids deserve better, and they deserve care, not cuts. So then let's talk about Pell Grants. 75% of HBCU students rely on them. The budget puts their college dreams at risk. Can we afford for the Black middle class to be gutted and decimated? No, we cannot. We need to ensure that our children are getting the education, the college education that they desire and that they have a right to. Then Head Start. Okay, Head Start, there's over 25% of kids in Head Start are actually Black kids. And this could undermine early education and childcare. And then school meals and SNAP, of which I was a recipient of. 3 million Americans in need will lose food assistance, including many of which 1 in 5 Black children already face food insecurity. We don't need cuts to the social safety net. If anything, we need more, okay? This bill redistributes wealth to billionaires. And aren't y'all tired of the rich taking from the poor? Aren't y'all tired of the rich eating the poor? When will enough be enough? So here is my call to action to y'all. What can you do? Call your Congress member and urge them to protect healthcare, education, and food programs.
When I first saw this video, I was so sad. All she's doing is calling people into socialism. And I even wrote that comment on that page. I was just like, this doesn't sound biblical. It actually sounds like you're just promoting socialism. Instead of calling people to actually work, to get off of welfare programs, not to have, more than half of the children born, of Black babies born, being born on Medicaid. Instead of doing that, she wants us to advocate so that Black people can continue to receive those services. That is not the human flourishing that we see in Scripture. I am confused as to, instead of looking at what a biblical response to poverty is, a biblical response to those who may not have, instead, what she calls us to do is to increase government spending on the poor or on those who may not be poor, because part of what we're seeing with our government spending in regards to welfare programs is a lot of this is just scams. It's just people scamming. But because of the color of someone's skin, because she sure ain't said nothing about white people or Hispanics or Asians who also are recipients of welfare, We got to make sure that we taken care of, because you got as much melanin as I do, so we can all be taken care of. She's a hot mess. She's a hot mess calling for Black people to continue to stay on welfare. I think it's something like 30% of welfare recipient or of Medicaid recipients, I believe, are Black women. So if that's the correct number, and we make up 64, I think that was her number, 64% of the births on Medicaid. Why do we continue to have these babies on Medicaid? What if we actually call people to abstinence? What if we call people to a lifestyle that was different than what they're used to, instead of calling people to more of the same? What has us having a relationship with our government done for us? Not just Black people, but anybody. Who is actually becoming not poor through living off of Medicaid? Out here, we call it Medi-Cal, SNAP, Section 8. I used to work in social service, and there is really no pathway out. But yet this is what the gatekeepers of a lot of Black church talk, this is what you invited into. It's kind of like, this is our reparation. You deserve to sit here and not work? Give me your biblical warrant for it. Give me your book, chapter, and verse, because I don't understand how we can say the government should take care of me. The government should take care of you. Head Start. Who is responsible for educating our kids? They want to say womb to tomb. And so this was a term that I used to use all the time, literally caring for someone from the womb to the tomb. But I didn't realize that other people use the womb to the tomb phraseology in a much different way. But how do we care for babies who are in the womb all the way through? But that's not social programs. That's not how God has designed us to flourish. And so now everybody's up in arms because SNAP is about to be cut. People are up in arms because of, HUD and potential changes that are coming to HUD. But no one's asking, why aren't these people working? I am not anti-welfare. As strong as I may come out against these things, I'm not 100% completely against welfare programs. I think that they should be very minimal. I think it needs to be very strategic. But I am not completely just solely like, bye. Nor am I a proponent of, hey, look, you've been on welfare for the last 27 years. We cutting you off tomorrow. You got to go find it. Like, bye, like, go find a job. Like, that isn't going to work. And it's actually going to put people in a worse position than what they might already be in, because our government has not set people up for success. I remember there was this whole 2-year cap thing. I want to say it may have come in under Clinton, where people could be on welfare for only 2 years, and especially like the cash aid portion, and they had to turn in their interview sheet and make sure that they were following up and calling, and then you had to turn that into your social worker and all. But none of that worked, because it's not really designed to set people up for success. Because as soon as I get so much money in my bank account, they're going to find out, and then I'm going to be kicked off. We have done such a disservice to humans in our nation by having a welfare state that allows people to just ride the coattails of the system. And now people are looking into it and saying, this person been on welfare for 130 years. They died 29 years ago. And yet somebody's still receiving welfare. To correct those things, to tell able-bodied people that they should go to work, well, that's going to bring out the Black apologists to be all up in their feelings, because 64% of our children are born on welfare, or because we need Pell Grants, or because we need Head Start. I was a recipient of Head Start and I got a Pell Grant. It does not make it right. We have to be able to raise our children, regardless of skin color, in an understanding that hard work is the way forward. Hard work is a biblical answer. Adam had a job before he had Eve. You need to understand this. I was telling somebody that I grew up thinking that as soon as you turned 18, you got Section 8. And I couldn't wait to move out. I was like, yes, because I can be on my own. That isn't the way the world works. But if all kids see is welfare and, SNAP benefits and, all of these things, why do I need to have these high goals of getting a job? Why do I need to think about if grants are just going to be the thing that's available to me, especially because of my skin color? Why do I need to think about how I'm going to work my way through college? Like, we need to be thinking about the benefit of hard work. Hey, if you enjoyed this content, come check out the Center for Biblical Unity. Download our free ebook, Is Christianity a White Man's Religion? Click on the link in the description below.